We've got Riffer Madness. What a great name. Yeah. Par for the Curse. And then Fight the Demiurge. I hope I'm saying that right, guys. Whoever submitted it.
Probably makes sense.
Which one? Let's say, how about Par for the Curse? How's that sound? Let's find the Par for the Curse section. Okay. Open session. I wonder what that one is. That's Fight the Demiurge. Darnelli, I'm assuming that's it. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, so it's kind of, I guess, like a quote-unquote modern, you call it modern rock track, you know. So we should probably feel it in the track. Let's go maybe to a different amp, because this thing is just too dang loud. Yeah, let's go to Cody's Marshall 800. This thing is too dang loud. While this is warming up, any Q&A while this is warming up?
Somebody online had a question a while ago about when you're doing the post-production, do you do the actual like live automation for some of that stuff too, or do you just do that? Like, are you just turning knobs on the amp as it's going down onto the track?
Yeah.
Or if you're, okay, you are. We're getting a little
radio
RF coming
All right. As far as they mean post-production, like?
Yeah, I guess that would include reamping. They weren't specific with the question.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the funny thing is the reamping, like, I mean, I might do something like that, but I generally tend to, I don't know, because when I'm doing stuff like that with an artist right there, you know, I'll always be grabbing things and turning knobs and like pedals and whatever, and I don't have them to tell me. I don't have the luxury of them being in the room with me, because they could just be like, that's too much. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, or I could talk to them. Sometimes they'll be like, you just go wild. And it's like, okay, then I can do that kind of stuff, because that's just what I'm feeling. But for the most part, if it's just like this, where I'm just trying to get like a basic rock tone, it's like, okay, I'm not gonna go to, you know, so then they get back and I'm like, what is this? There's all sorts of weird pedals on my stuff. And like, you know, like I said, when the artist is right there, I could do that and they'll be like, oh, that's cool. And they'll be like, I don't like that. So, and then I'll be like, okay, fine. We'll back off, you know.
Cool.
But yeah.
That answered the question.
Cool.
I think that radio stuff's coming through that unbalanced guitar cable. It happens certain times of the day. So that's
yeah, it's probably, you know, and even with the reamp, and it's just, there's so many variables with that kind of thing. And
it's rock and roll, right?
It's very rock and roll. It's very Spinal Tap. I love it. Let's see what we got here. We have a decent level on this. Let's just hear what it sounded like. That's loud. Yeah. That's certainly loud.
That's decent.
I'm actually now not going to listen to the track really quick. Again, almost like starting at the source. Like, obviously, I'm going to finally tweak it once it's in the track, but just for right now, just to get the basic tone, it's okay. Something like that. It might need a little more. Maybe it needs a little more gain. So let's, going into our same thought process and our same thing with the pedals. So here's going back to the pedals. Let's do, excuse me. Let me just move this over really quick. All right, so I think we want a little more gain. I think it needs a little more crunch. It's like, it feels like the DI signal is a little low, and I'm right at 0 on the in Pro Tools mixer. We're gonna try the tube screamer. We're gonna put it in the line selector.
Yeah.
So again, showing you what going through the tube screamer is. I'll show you the difference between going through it just straight and then blending it using like some sort of loop pedal like this line, like the Boss line selector. Okay. Where did we go? Oh, we're output.
Yeah.
That would help. We got 2 things here.
We don't need this now.
No, we're out of the DI.
Yeah, so.
What do we got here?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Just give me one. I'm gonna spend 20 minutes detangling a cable.
I know.
All right.
Okay.
Output of the line selector is good. Here we go. Great. So it's important that we make sure that like on the line selector, because some of the loop pedals and the blender pedals have just one knob, like wet, dry. Like this one has 2 knobs, so we want to make sure that we're setting this kind of like for unity gain. So it's the same whether we put it in or not. When you could tell when you're just back and forth, put it in and out. If it's obviously if it's not low, it's going to be low on the amp.
Can you create a track and record arm it so that it goes out to?
Absolutely.
Because otherwise everybody online can't.
Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry about that, guys.
No worries.
Okay, so just really quick, just showing this, and again, going back and forth with the line selector pedal, just so you can hear the difference, and just trying to match it, so make sure that it's the same basically as what's going into it normally. About right. So that's now that's just basically like the same level as the DI, or the same level as the virtual guitar player that's sitting right here. And then now we're going to blend in some of the tube screamer. Okay, so now just to really quick, just to show you the AB, with that, now straight into the tube screamer. Where are we? Aha. Yes. Hello. Showing that, but why are we not getting the reamp? Hold on, please. Are we back? We're backwards.
We're backwards, yeah.
Haha.
There we go.
That's straight through the tube screamer, and there's the difference. And then this is blended. You hear the difference? It's subtle, but it's enough. Like, I feel like when you're blending the tube screamer in and not just going straight through the pedal, you're getting all the initial attack of just the raw guitar into the amp, and then you're adding that element to it. So, yeah. So now let's hear it in the track. Let's now adjust to the track a little bit more. with the drums and kind of still dial it in a little further. I'm going to go back to our line selector. Cool.
It's actually reacting really well.
It's reacting really well.
Yeah.
It's reacting
Is that an
great.
acoustic guitar that is you're reamping?
No,
it's just
their
direct,
track,
yeah.
and it's again, it's going to the exact point I was talking about. There's an acoustic in there with that, and the layer of that acoustic, that brightness, almost like what we do with the DI,
Exactly.
is actually adding to that
Creating
guitar
that
sound.
little
You hear it,
roundness.
you hear that. And then let's hear,
Good tone.
yeah, one, and then let's make a new one. And he gave us a guitar right. All right, 2, reamp 2. And let's send this one out to the reamp now. And just for the heck of it, here, let's layer in. We have, I think, our NOS ribbon, which is coming in on here. Let's see if we can layer in that sound a little bit. Very quickly, without the track, just hearing it again. This one. Input 1. We have, oh, okay. Interestingly enough, I feel like there's a little bit of a phase thing between the NOS ribbon. I was just trying to show a different, let's just try it with just the ribbon and see what that does. Yeah. Okay, let's try that. Let's hear it in the track. Okay, so we recorded the second guitar track with the same amp setup, but different mic. I threw that NOS ribbon, active ribbon, on the other speaker. and I didn't even really listen too hard, but we're showing just for an example, and then here. So our setup, same guitar, same everything, a little darker on the one side, a little bit brighter on the other side, and giving it to. So that's kind of reamping in a nutshell. It's as simple as that. And then, it is great. Like I said, when the artist isn't there, obviously you might, use a little bit of caution or a little bit of restraint if you're doing like what I do with like a lot of the pedals and a lot of effects, and just again try to serve. And you talk to the artist and try to serve what they're looking for. Ask what their goals are. What are they looking? What type of guitar sound are they looking for? Is it a really thicker, heavier sound or something like that? Like that feels right to me for that kind of track, something like that. And again, it's almost like when you listen by itself, it doesn't sound that distorted or that big, but in the track, with the way it's hitting with the kicks and everything. And again, it's all to what you're feeling and what you're hearing too. Trying to serve the song, trying to serve the artist, but it enables you. It frees you up because you're not punching in their performance. You're not dealing with any of that kind of thing. So
tone. Once
you get the tone, you can then sit there and play with the tone and just really tone it in, and it's really good. So it's great for that, But and dealing again with the pre-mix thing, simple. Check your crossfades, listen for clicks and pops if you're unsure, just double check and make sure. Consolidate the files to one track if you haven't. Commit. Make sure things are tidy and easy to work with, especially if you're sending to another engineer. And that's probably more for my edification than anything to send it to, because like I said, I've gotten tracks where it's just a nightmare, and it's just, so common courtesy to other engineers. So if you're sending somebody to somebody else for mixing, I guess if it's your own house and you want to make your own house messy, that's fine. But it's also with Pro Tools and with other files, how many times have you lost files?
Yeah.
It happens. So to me, when you consolidate all your regions and get ready for your mixing, it's it's just a precaution. It's also precautionary because, like I said, all of a sudden, some reason things happen, and like computer, sometimes you open it up, it's like missing 2 files, and you're like, what happened? Yeah. I don't understand.
Yeah, I know.
And it's happened more than once.
Especially when you're sharing pools with different versions and things like that, or you didn't realize that you deleted, cleaned something out that you needed. So
exactly. So didn't really get too much into mixing, but sorry about that, guys. But I think maybe we went a little too far on certain things. But I really hope that everybody got a lot out of this course, and I got a lot out of this course. Like I said, just deconstructing my thought process, which is something I had never thought about before until literally 2 days ago, or about a week ago before, getting ready for it. But really try to delve into just any artistic process, just like you, how do you write a song? How do you know what's good? I don't know. Just deconstructing that creative process and that thing and breaking it down into such precise technical terms is interesting. But hopefully there's anything, if you get a little thing out of this and it inspires you to do something or try something new or just, a different technique, then hopefully.
And I think in hindsight, what I think most people will get out of this is I don't think there is much to talk about when it comes to mixing, because the whole philosophy that Steve, I think, is getting to here is that by doing things right, by committing, by taking this approach, this holistic approach as you go, thinking a few steps ahead, you're mixing along the way, and you're thinking frequency range, you're thinking space, you're thinking creating a scenario where things aren't competing and they're complementing each other. So the mix shouldn't really be that complicated if you're taking this approach, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Right on, guys.
Awesome.
Well, gentlemen, any final thoughts before we take back over?
You know, my final thought is exactly what I've been saying from day one. Commit. There's such a great power in committing and, you know, taking a stand for what your artistic vision is and what the artists who you're working with artistic vision is, and just really committing to that, and don't be afraid to be wrong. And, you know, if it's wrong, guess what? There's always time. You can do it again.